For Justice Equality, the number of Garda and reserves in each Garda station in County Carlow and Kilkenny, and will make a statement on the matter. I do this on a regular basis, Minister, as you know, just since the reduction of since recessionary times of Gardaí. I'm just wondering where are the statistics at the moment.
I acknowledge Deputy Aylward's consistent interest in this matter, following on behalf of his constituents in Carlow and Kilkenny, and I'm very pleased to engage with him at all times. Deputy Aylward will appreciate that it's a matter for the Garda Commissioner, who is fully responsible for the distribution of Garda personnel among the various divisions. I, as Minister, don't have any direct role. I can say, however, that Garda management keeps this distribution of resources under continual review in the context of crime trends in the area and policing priorities, in order to ensure that the optimum use is made of these resources. I don't politically interfere in policing matters, nor indeed do I direct the Garda Commissioner where to deploy resources. I can say, however, that notwithstanding the Commissioner's responsibility, I have provided for the record in tabular form the detailed information as requested by Deputy Aylward. I'm informed by the Commissioner that the strength of the division in Carlow and Kilkenny as of the 31st of August, which is the latest date, was 333. There are also 26 Garda reserves. There are 41 Garda civilian staff attached to Kilkenny Carlow division. Where necessary, the work of local Garda is supported by a number of Garda national units, such as the National Bureau of Criminal Investigation, the Armed Support Units, the Garda National Economic Crime Bureau and the Garda National Drugs and Organised Crime Bureau. And I want again to take this opportunity to confirm the commitment of Government to supporting An Garda Síochána, ensuring that the organisation is appropriately resourced. Garda recruitment effectively discontinued from 10 to 14. I'm very pleased that since then we've had 2,200 new recruits having been attested. Of those, 57 new recruits have been assigned to the Kilkenny Carlow division. And I'm pleased that the strength of An Garda Síochána will, by the end of this year, a few weeks' time, will have reached over 14,000 members. That will be the first time in many years.
There's improvement in the numbers, and I won't read out the numbers I had here because I think it's outdated at this stage. It's going back to last April. So I'm glad to hear that there's an increase in numbers. But I will contest that sometimes we're underestimating the value of the community Garda and the effectiveness of the position in fighting crime and rural crime in particular. The community Garda is a trusted liaison and confidence between the man on the street and the man on the beat. Members of the public are far more comfortable in relaying potential sensitive and confidential information relating to a crime to a Garda they know and trust. Equally, it is so important to have a Garda operating in this capacity that knows the community and knows the people of the community. The community Garda will collect and convey vital crime-solving information to his and her colleagues. The single greatest deterrent to crime is a well-informed Garda on the beat. It is my firm belief that we should be aiming to have a community Garda in every Garda station in the country. That is the level of importance I place on this crucial policing position, and that's why I think every parish in any part of rural Ireland in particular, I think there should be a Garda, community Garda in place to fight the crime that we all know is there.
Minister.
Deputy Aylward makes an important point, recognising the need to change the model of community policing. I'm advised that Garda management are working on developing a new model of community policing to take account of the changes taking place within our communities, both urban and rural, and the need for a really responsive police service. Of course, I'd ask deputies to accept the fact that the ongoing recruitment process will support An Garda Síochána in their activities, will enhance Garda visibility in our community. Deputy Aylward is a rural TD like myself, and can I share his view of the devastating effect theft from farms can have on the livelihoods of farmers and their sense of security in rural areas. I'm informed that Garda Síochána is actively working with local communities and farming organisations in order to do more to prevent farm theft. I want to acknowledge the work of farm organisations, want to acknowledge the work of community groups, want to acknowledge Community Alert, Text Alert, want to say that I have some funding available from my department to assist rural communities in this regard. I want to acknowledge the importance of Theft Stop, designed to deter criminals from taking and selling farm equipment, other machinery, other machinery, ensuring that it's clearly marked with a unique ID. So I want to thank Deputy Aylward for raising the important matter of rural and farm crime here this morning.
Deputy Aylward.
And thank you for that, Minister. I just want to ask you about the traffic corps too, because there was a big reduction in traffic corps during the recessionary times, and I just want to ask, are the numbers in the traffic corps, who play a very vital role in police and in the country areas as well, and I think that to bring them up to the proper strength is what we need. I know there's a lot of recruitment going on at the moment. I also want to ask you, I always ask you about this as well, and I get the opportunity about CCTV on motorways and coming off of motorways. As you know, we have two going through Kilkenny, two motorways, Midland and down to the north of Kilkenny, and I think it's important for CCTV to catch crimes, to help the Garda to identify people who are leaving Dublin's, Limerick's, big cities and coming down and then robbing places and getting away in 20 minutes onto the motorway and gone. And I think we should look seriously at CCTV and its provision, which was in the programme from government, I believe. My understanding was there.
Are there other members offering on this? No. Minister.
Thank you. I agree with Deputy Aylward that every effort should be made in local communities, particularly rural communities, in the fight against crime and, of course, crime prevention. There are two CCTV schemes, one which is run by communities and one by the Garda Síochána, and I understand that the schemes in County Kilkenny, in close proximity to the motorways, are important for local communities. From my own department, a sum of €1 million has been made available for the provision of CCTV at the behest of local communities, working with local communities. Obviously, there are a number of conditions, but I would encourage local communities to become involved. They need to engage with the local community crime prevention officer, need to engage with the local joint policing committee, and again I want to acknowledge the importance of the various joint policing committees up and down the country, and also the data protection controller will be in the local authority. I would be happy to speak directly to Deputy Aylward after this session in order to ensure that information and knowledge is fully available to communities in rural Kilkenny and Carlow in order to benefit from these schemes.
Thank you very much, Minister.